Keep pushing it over the edge. Moving to the left side now. Watch out below. Clear and away.
The graffiti is gone. This structural damage needs attention. Note the crumbling keystones here. The cleaning phase is complete.
Excellent work, team.
Now we assess the structural integrity.
Okay, let's get these bags near the missing balustrade. This is where we start. Let's inspect the cracks. Be careful with those forms, they're fragile.
All right, bring it up slowly.
Keep tension on the rope.
We have the cement mixed and ready to apply below.
The base is set. Good, now the balusters. Hand me the next one. Almost done. The finish here is perfect.
Yeah.
Move the scaffolding up just a bit. Careful with that edge.
Now for the domes.
That center one first.
Prep the plaster.
Next frame. Hoist it up. Align the seal. Ready for glass. Secure it. The chassis is perfect. It's striking, isn't it? Now for the interior. Get in.
All right, everyone, clear the center pathway now. Watch the debris coming down on the left side. Make sure these supports align with the revised blueprints.
Got it. I'll double check the bracing right now.
Keep it straight, keep it straight. Adhesive, tile, press. Perfect. Another row down.
Line it up, tighten that. Hand me the level. Okay, next unit. That's it, done.
Lower it, slow down.
Watch the edge, easy now.
Looks good, keep coming down.
Let's get the sprayers set up near the archways. We'll start with the base coat on the lower level, guys.
Looking down through the jungle canopy, you can see a structure that defies logic. This is an enormous 5-story Baroque Moorish palace, totally swallowed by tropical vegetation and mounted entirely on a multi-axle semi-truck trailer. We are going to execute a complete structural and cosmetic resurrection of this mobile estate, repairing everything from the rusted wheels in the mud to the crumbling plaster domes at the top. Before anyone touches the fragile exterior, we have to build out the necessary infrastructure. That means erecting 5 stories of metal scaffolding, staging industrial pressure washers, mixing targeted chemical strippers, and donning specialized safety gear. If you skip this preparation phase, you risk tearing the ornate stucco right off the facade. Skipping the proper setup turns a delicate restoration into permanent demolition of a century-old architectural skin. This diagram shows why you can never yank thick vines straight outward. Pulling away transfers mechanical stress directly into the plaster, ripping the facade apart. Instead, use a horizontal peeling technique. Sideways pulling lets stress forces bypass delicate outer layers, detaching vegetation cleanly. With the vines cleared, the crew addresses decades of thick mold and spray paint graffiti. Workers apply precise chemical removers to break down heavy silver and black tags before any water touches the wall. Once those chemical agents dissolve the paint, industrial pressure washers step in. High-pressure jets slice through the treated biological matter, exposing the crisp chalk-white plaster hidden underneath. Workers then immediately brush a clear liquid stone consolidant primer over the newly exposed highly porous masonry to lock out moisture. Applying mechanical water pressure before the chemical treatment would simply force the mold and paint deeper into the stone. By strictly adhering to this sequence, a fragile exterior is stabilized and prepared for structural repair. Now that the facade is clean, the exact locations of the structural damage become clear. Entire sections of balcony balusters are missing, and deep cracks run the full height of the ornate column pilasters. On the left of this image, you see a heavily degraded column capital. To repair this, artisans take an impression mold of an intact section. They press fresh stucco into that mold and apply it directly to the damaged area, yielding the crisp white replica you see on the right. Moving to the highest elevation of the scaffolding, the crew tackles the 5 roof domes. They scrape away thick carpets of green moss and travel fresh white stucco over exposed brick patches. At the top of the central onion dome, the cracked apex finial requires targeted engineering. A worker sets internal steel anchor rods deep into the cavity, then secures the finial with a fresh stucco collar so it cures perfectly plumb. Watch as this metal tool slices directly into wet plaster. The worker manually recuts the sharp decorative ribbing lines down the curve of the dome. Relying on these traditional profiling techniques ensures the building retains its historically accurate aesthetic, while repairing the load-bearing shell beneath. Step 1 of enclosing the structure is sealing off the interior from the jungle environment. The crew installs white, steel-framed arched windows into every opening, securing clear glass panels tight against the masonry. Below the delicate plaster sits the heavy mechanical base of the trailer. Workers use angle grinders to strip thick orange rust off the multi-axle chassis, then paint on a heavy-duty rust converter and a bright white industrial primer. This schematic highlights the trailer's structural frame. The crew places heavy hydraulic jacks exactly at these specific weight-bearing points to safely lift the chassis and replace the dry-rotted rubber with massive new truck tires. Inside, after clearing out layers of debris, the interior receives a complete fit-out. Teams lay down a dark walnut herringbone floor over a new timber grid and secure ornate white coffered panels across the ceilings. The rooms are then filled with rich Baroque furnishings and custom-carved mahogany built-ins. Up on the top floor, the interior of the central dome is painted a deep midnight blue to serve as a circular observatory. Back outside, the final touches bring the exterior to life. The 5 domes are coated in a pale metallic gold finish, and warm amber wall lanterns are wired into every arch bay along the brilliant white facade. Treating the heavy mechanical vehicle base and the fragile architectural superstructure as 2 distinct engineering tasks makes a mobile palace of this scale completely viable. With the wiring complete, the crew executes the master illumination test. The crystal interior chandeliers sequence on, casting light through the arched windows, while ground-mounted architectural spotlights beam up onto the exterior. In this time-lapse, you can watch the evening take hold. As the surrounding jungle canopy fades to black, the warm amber lighting transforms the structure into a radiant beacon against the tree line. Looking at this side-by-side comparison, the starting point on the left is the decaying, graffiti-covered mass of debris. On the right stands an immaculate, fully functional white and gold palace.